Hi folks, the Filipino P here. And you might have heard the claim that we Filipinas are secretly only attracted to our own kind. And there's only one reason we pretend to be interested in you foreigners. So let's cut through all the crap and put that idea to the test. I found a dozen random Filipinas and I'm gonna ask them some very pointed questions. Do we prefer your looks? Or are we more attracted to the local guys? Do we really want to date you? And why? And what do we actually not like about you? Now, I have no clue how these ladies are gonna answer, but one thing's for sure, you're about to hear the truth. Now, because of the new vlogging laws, we have to get permission from every person who appears on screen, which goes something like this.
I consent to be interviewed by the Filipina P. I consent to be interviewed by the Filipina P channel.
Now that we got that out of the way, let's begin. So, do Filipinas really prefer to date within our own race and ethnicity? Are local Filipino guys actually Filipinas' first pick? Well, there's one way to find out. Let's ask. Whose looks do we prefer?
Foreigners have the best looks. They have this looks that's very different, especially when you're looking foreigners that they have the different hair color, the different eyes, like blue, brown, green. It's very beautiful looking.
As you can see, I am so morena. So I think that Filipinos do look better, and I really appreciate more Filipino beauties. As a Filipino, I think it has been a stigma to us to foresee foreigners as more beautiful at some point because of their skin color and other features as well. So I think that they have their own unique kind of beauty ring.
Foreigners are the ones looks better in general, and we all know that foreigners are one of the beauty standard here in the Philippines. And in my opinion, I would prefer a foreigner.
I think foreigners, yes, because of their looks, eh?
I think subjectively, foreigners look better mostly because of genes, and I think the standard beauty standards and personal preference.
Foreigners are taller than Filipinos, and I think some Filipinos prefer mestiza or mestizo. That's why they are more attracted to the foreigners than Filipinos.
Foreigners looks better, like Western or American features, like tall and pale skin also.
I have nothing like against physical appearances like foreigners, pero I don't think I've ever been like interested lang talaga in general. I think I prefer yung Filipino features talaga.
I think, yeah, there are some physical traits that make Americans or even Westerners or foreigners in general look more appealing to the eye, and that's why others from other countries find them more attractive. I really find it attractive when foreigners are obviously taller than me because I'm short, and I think it's the way that their eyes captivate mine, and I look more into that.
Well, that wasn't unanimous, but it was pretty darn close. So that's one myth we can cross off the list. Filipinos do not hold their noses when we consider dating you. Quite the opposite. Many of us find you irresistible. But assuming we want to go out with you, where do we look?
It is rare to meet a foreigners or date foreigners in person. So, if ever a Filipino or a foreigner look for a Filipina or Filipino partners, they always look into dating site because it is very rampant nowadays.
So usually, Filipinos find a foreigner boyfriend at the dating app like Tinder, Bumble, but also they find foreigner in the tourist place, like for example Boracay, Siargao.
People often date online because it's very convenient for them to find someone online.
They usually meet them online. It is easier for them to have a conversation. Like you can use Google Translate or other translator app while talking to them through chat.
Mostly online through social medias. I see mostly Facebook posts. Either the foreigner or a Filipina would be looking for a foreign partner or a Filipino partner.
I think that Filipinas tend to look foreigners online, and if you're lucky enough, you could like marry one.
So it sounds like if a Filipina's gonna be looking for you, she'll probably be going online, which makes perfect sense. But that doesn't mean it's the best strategy for you. Like I always say, if you can visit the Philippines in person, you'll have a huge advantage over those online guys. So now let's find out if any of these young ladies have ever actually dated a foreign man. And if they haven't, would they be willing to try?
I think I'm open to dating a foreigner. I think there's nothing wrong with that. If they're a good person, regardless of their nationality, if they are marriage material, then yes. They are more intriguing because they're more different from me personally. Culturally, they're more interesting. So I think it would be very nice.
Yes, I have dated foreigners. Actually now, I'm dating a foreigner.
I haven't dated a foreigner, and I think they're shy to slide in my DMs.
Of course, I mean, if he is emotionally and physically and financially capable and supporting us, of course, I can get married with a foreigner.
Yes, if destiny comes, if I meet some foreigner that treat me well, of course, yes.
I did. I did for a 1.5 year. And he was a commercial pilot, but unfortunately, we broke up. I never officially date a Filipino, so I would say yes, I would try again dating a foreigner. But I'm open to like entertaining Filipinos.
Yes, I have dated a foreigner when I was around 15 or around pandemic area. It was a foreigner from Florida. The way we bonded was just through video chats, like constant, on a daily basis.
I haven't yet dated a foreigner, but if I had a chance, I would date a foreigner. It was one of my dreams na to marry a foreigner because the genes, the beautiful features of and characteristics and also personality. So I would prefer marrying a foreigner than Filipino.
Well, that was a pretty enthusiastic yes. Out of 12 women, only one said she wouldn't be interested. Sounds like you'd have quite a few options on the dating scene in the Philippines. But what about the infamous Filipino parents? How would they react to the news that their daughter was dating a foreigner?
When it comes to my mom, Liwat, she's gonna be happy because it's really her dream that her daughter would marry a foreigner. Of course naman because sino ka para tumanggi ng foreigner, di ba? It's like a blessing also to you that a foreigner reach out to date you, di ba?
I think like typically Filipino families, they would be actually happy if their children would marry a foreigner. Their children inherit Eurocentric features.
I think my parents would be happy with it. Generally, we know that foreigners stereotypically have a lot of money. I think the first banter would be about, "Ala, may kwarta ka na, or you have money na, or you can go to other places now with that foreigner."
I'm very open with my parents. My mom is literally my best friend. So this foreigner is courting me. So like technically the mindset was like, oh my God, iaahon na tayo sa kahirapan. Literally. Like that was the mindset. I'm not closing my doors to date or to marry a foreigner.
For me, my parents would be happy. And also, when we say I have a boyfriend or I'm dating a foreign, is that I would be one of the popular in our community or in barangay that they would say that, OMG, the daughter of Miss something ganito, naka pull up ng some beautiful guy.
I think that my not particularly both of my parents. I think my mother would say, "Go nak, ilaban mo ang Pilipinas."
Yep, that's actually pretty accurate. And the motivation behind it is pretty obvious. When I was really little, my mom would always tell me to marry a foreigner too, so it's a common sentiment, especially among families that are poor. But surely it's not all about the Benjamins. What else do we really like about ya?
They say that foreigners are sweet and also they give what you want to satisfy you. So that is, but it's more appealing that they are sweet.
I think they are more direct as people. Like they tend to speak what they want to feel, and yeah, they are more direct with their feelings in compared with the Filipinos. Like we Filipinos, we tend to like paligoy-ligoy at first. Like we tend to act like Filipina, like Maria Clara at some point. But foreigners, they tend to like be honest with what they feel. Especially like here in the Philippines, if you date someone like a foreigner, people would look at you like, oh my God, she won the lottery at some point. Like, yeah, that kind of thinking.
Filipino um, boys here, they are much on having fun. there are there are kinds of Filipinos here are actually just for fun. And that's why there's this big difference in foreigners and Pinoy when it comes to dating. When it comes to mindset, business, and how to treat a woman, I want to marry a foreigner, especially when they are older. They are basically want to get married, and not like here in the Philippines, like almost 20 years old men here are basically fun, always their wife cheated on, something like that. And foreigners, they want to be serious and so to settle with a woman.
I think the best thing of dating a foreigner is that they are providers and they are very vocal with their feelings, and one of my love language is words of affirmation. So I feel so loved whenever he says something that made me feel beautiful and made me feel loved. Yeah.
Foreigners are usually more outgoing and they're more adventurous than other Filipinos. That's why they usually come to the Philippines to travel, to discover a lot of about our culture.
I believe their money. Yes, I'm being honest here. As living in a third world country, um, we always say that dating a foreigner will uplift us to the poverty that we lived in. So the best thing that the dating a foreigner is with their support, financially support, and not just financially support, mentally, physically, and everything.
Well, you might not like all the references to money, but at least they were being honest. And like I said at the beginning, all you can expect to find in this video is the truth. I'm not gonna try to polish the turd, I'm just gonna serve it to you in its natural state and let you make of it what you will. But besides the economic benefits, Filipinos also appreciate the way you say what you mean. You're open with your feelings and you know how to treat a woman. We see you as someone who's serious about having a real relationship. And you guys generally make really good husbands. But what about the stuff we don't like? Nothing's 100% puppies and rainbows, so let's find out what turns us off.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest too about these foreigners when I talk online, when we chatting something. This foreigner guy is wanted to have some photos of me, and they are sending their pics. You know what I'm talking about. Their pics, and I don't even ask about that.
I think sometimes the foreigners can be a little too blunt or too frank to the point that it kind of disrespects the Filipino or the other person. They don't understand things that normally we would understand, and there should be a level of boundaries to be set, and a level of, let's say, respect.
Actually, since we have a lot of differences in culture, practices, I think number one is their hygiene because not everyone takes a bath every day. Like, unlike Filipino, they usually take a bath at least 2 times a day or once a day.
What I fear with the quality of a foreigner is they do it for fun or like for, the sexual things.
Sometimes foreigners can't get the Filipino humor. Foreigners are a bit straightforward and also, what do you call that? Rude. They look down to us, like they made us as a maid in their houses, and they are like slaving us.
Some of the Filipinos are scared to marry foreigners because may nakikita tayong mga news that some of the Filipinas are experiencing violence. Yeah, that's why. But if my mom will be happy because her granddaughters or sons will gonna be pretty and handsome.
Well, that wasn't too bad. You ask us for naked pictures, you don't take enough showers, and you turn us into maids and slaves. But on the whole, you're really great guys. At least you got a rare glimpse into what Filipinas are really thinking. And one thing's for sure, we do find you attractive and we do want to marry you. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I'll be back on Tuesday. Yes, I did say Tuesday to kick off a new segment. Hope to see you there. Till then, folks. So, as most of you know, the Philippines has been ravaged by 2 super typhoons lately, and a lot of families there lost everything. The flooding and the landslide, and it was devastated, especially the people from Cebu and people from northern parts of the Philippines. So one of my very generous patrons from my Patreon community donated 4 large boxes of clothes. Here they are. So I'm gonna send some of these clothes to the families back in the Philippines who might have lost everything during the typhoons. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank you publicly. You know who you are. You're a scholar and a gentleman. And I'll make sure to find good homes for all these items. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. If you think about it, I'm kind of like your own personal genie. Every week, I fulfill 2 of your wishes when I bring you magical content about life and culture in the Philippines and explain the differences between East and West. If you appreciate my efforts, all I ask is you give a thumbs up on this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you can see what I've conjured up next. And if you're really feeling like a generous master, please visit my Patreon page for extra content and exclusive videos and features. And now for that 3rd wish, you have only to ask, and it's my pleasure to make it come true. What did you wish for? Master! I don't think I can do that, and Mrs. Master would not be happy about it.